What is going on, y'all, and welcome to week 5 of the contest prep vlog series. So it's kind of hard to believe that we are already 5 weeks in, but I am loving every minute of it, and I've been really pleased with how my body's responded thus far to the manipulations I've made, and then just also like my energy levels, my mentality towards it all. Like 5 weeks into a prep is definitely, you know, early on in the prep cycle still, but at this point, a lot of people are typically being much more aggressive with their macros than what I'm doing with mine. So they're oftentimes a little bit more moody at this point. They're starting to see a decline in energy, lower libido, like all of those things, sleep deprivation. I haven't suffered from any of that stuff. Like I feel like $1,000,000. Truth be told, I honestly feel better now than I did at the onset of the prep. I actually had a client call a couple weeks ago of a client that's competing, and they were saying, hey, I am feeling like I'm on cloud 9 right now. And they're kind of like coming out of their prep. They're in the reverse diet. And I was talking to them about, you know, different phases and where you're at. And like when you're in a massive building phase, when you're in an aggressive surplus, you've got so much energy coming in that it almost like weighs you down a little bit. And then obviously when you're at the depth of a competition prep, you're super depleted and you just feel run down a little bit. There's like this Goldilocks phase in between where you have just the right amount of energy coming in to fuel all of your workouts, but no excess really. And you're leaning out so you don't have a whole bunch of extra body fat, so you feel good about how you look, you feel good about how you perform. Like everything's just humming along really nice. And I feel like I'm coasting into that phase right now and feeling very productive, very energized, and very grateful for where I'm at in the prep. So with this vlog, I kind of want to go over some updated stats, and since we're pretty much going off of this every 2-week, you know, rhythm, we're gonna go over posing footage as well. So let's start with kind of diving into my macros and weigh-ins here. So right now, week 5, this is the one in black right here. You can see what my macros are: 225 fat, 150 protein, 15 total carbs. You kind of see what my weight has been doing here as well: 176.9, 177 is the goal weight. And then I just keep trending down. A couple, you know, little blurbs where I go up, but that's totally typical. But then check this out, 174.7 on Sunday. So quite a significant drop in weight there, which is, again, pretty good bit above, about a pound under what my tentative goal weight is at this point. So weight is definitely trending down as it should be. And then cardio, I've been kind of ramping up the cardio as I talked about in the last vlog. So I did do 12 minutes at level 12 once this past week. I just wanted to see what level 12 felt like. Level 12 kicked my butt a little bit. Level 10, not so bad. Level 12, a little bit more of a different beast altogether. I am not one of those hardcore no hands guys when it comes to stairmaster. People that are no hands, you know, more power to you, you're a beast. But I typically crank up the level higher, but then use my hands, because for me, I can standardize that a little bit better. Like I'll be doing level 15 plus by the end of this, but again, I'll be having my hands on the support rails to just kind of, you know, put my head down, lock in, and get to work. So there's what I'm looking like from a charting standpoint there. Now, when it comes to the food, in order to hit that 225 fat, 150 protein, 15 total carbs, I kind of mentioned this a little bit in the last one as well, but I've been pretty much just front-loading and only having a brick, or back-loading my macros, but front-loading the bricks. So I have the whole brick for my meal 1, which is normally around 10 a.m. after training. You know, a full brick there. I've been doing the PB cup still. And then my meal 2 is my largest meal. You know, I've got 5 eggs this time, 12 ounces of grass-fed beef. That's 85-15 blend. Only 1 tablespoon of butter this go round, and that can of smoked mackerel. Next week, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take out the smoked mackerel and just bump up the beef and the eggs, but this will probably be the last week that I'm doing the mackerel, and honestly, this has been working really well for me thus far. I also took updated measurements and a caliper test. So measurements for the week, this 5th week, I've got neck at 15.25, chest 42, shoulders 46.25, bicep unflexed 14.75, flexed 16.25, belly button 32.5, hips 38.5, thigh 24.75, and calves 16. So measurements are all moving in the right direction there. And then I also got an updated caliper test, and according to my caliper test, I was 8.26% body fat. So again, I think the caliper for me has always measured a little bit lower than it is in actuality. So realistically, I think I'm probably around 12% right now. So I'll get an updated DEXA scan and Inbody probably at some point in the near future, but I would guess somewhere around 12% for me personally. So yeah, that's what we're looking like as far as the measurements and stats go. All right, let's dive into the posing here. All right, so here we are with the front relaxed, going to the side. We got the side relaxed here, and I can see it more so when I'm looking in the mirror or when I'm actually just looking at myself than I do in the videos. But I am definitely leaning out. You can see a little bit more striations and just definition in my lower back there, and we'll definitely see this a lot more when I actually hit the muscular rounds. But my obliques have tightened up. I don't have near as much body fat around my lower back and obliques. And then I'm about to transition into the muscular rounds here. So going with what am I going to hit first, lat spread or bicep? All right, so lat spread here. A little bit more definition you can see on the shoulder caps there. A little bit more, separation in the muscle fibers. More separation in the triceps. I can see that kind of coming out more defined. Hitting the side chest and side tricep poses here. That hamstring sweep is looking a little bit more prominent. The bicep vein, I never really lose my bicep vein, even in the building phase, so that's pretty much always been there. I am starting to see a little bit more feathering in my quads. That is not typically there in a building phase. And then from the rear here, you'll be able to see more of a change in my lower back, so that you can start to see that Christmas tree kind of coming out ever so slightly, which is pretty cool for me. 5 weeks in, already starting to see a little bit of the outline of that Christmas tree with the back poses. There's the back double bicep. And you can't really see with this lighting, but I've actually been able to start seeing some more vascularity in my upper back, which is kind of crazy to see vascularity 5 weeks in, but I'm not complaining. Again, more separation there with the hamstrings on the left side poses. And then we're about to hit go back to the front lat spread there. And then let's see what we got here. Another double bicep, just kind of going through some of these poses. I want to kind of do the obliques, hands over head, abdominal thigh here. Here we go. So you can start to see a little bit more of that separation in the obliques that was not there at the onset. So definitely tightening up, a little bit more striations in the chest. I'm starting to get a little bit of vascularity there on my central pec area that was most certainly not there at the onset. So little bit by little bit, starting to see some more definition come through. So that is the posing, that is the macros, that is the cardio that I've been doing for this week 5 of the prep. I'm probably going to get blood work drawn every 2 months. I was thinking about that, and I want to have a really good pulse on what my testosterone's doing throughout the prep. And every 1 month, new labs, I think it's a little bit overkill. Every 3 months is a little bit too much time between labs. So I'm probably going to start doing labs every 2 months. So I'll get those drawn at the 8-week mark, and then be sure to go over those results with you. So feeling good about everything thus far. Like I said, I'm probably going to take out the macro for next week and then just up the ground beef and eggs, see how that does. And that is pretty much where we're at. Everything's been going super solid. I'm going to keep scaling up the cardio bit by bit. The workouts have been going great. I haven't seen a drop in strength on anything, and I've been pushing the needle and actually getting heavier on many of my lifts. So I feel very good about that as well. So with these prep vlogs, if there's anything that y'all want me to dive a little bit deeper into, I'm trying to be as transparent and clear as possible. But there's specific questions that y'all have or things that you want to make. If there's things that you want me to make sure to include, by all means, let me know, and I'll make sure to include those in these vlogs. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the support, and we will see you next time.